So then we enter color, the last section for this semester, where color there's always been problematic, and then we move into postmodernism and overcoming the identity crisis introduced by the war. First, we have Levi Hill, who was a Baptist minister who was doing experimentations with color photography, published his treatise of heliochromy in 1851, explaining how silver halide crystals under certain conditions of light would reflect exactly the colors as they are exposed. He unfortunately was unable to replicate the process in front of anyone else, and the book that he wrote wasn't very clear. No one really could understand what the process was. So he was discredited. He was kind of put off to the side and said, well, you said you did, and you said you were going to do it again, but you never did. However, recent discoveries have showed photographs made by him that do show that it's the original silver halide full color image. So the research is uncertain whether he's the first color photographer or not. Where we have the progression of the additive color theory, where it's just three guys and some light, where we first have Isaac Newton back in 1666 figured out that through a prism you could split light into different colored rays, that the wave properties of light when diffracted through a prism actually show that there are different wavelengths of white light, and that when mixed together we have full-on white light. Then we have Thomas Young, who developed Young's theory in 1803, showing how our eyes have three separate color receptors, that our eyes are only able to receive the colors red, green, and blue, and with those three primary colors, when mixed together, we get white light. This is the additive color theory. So then James Clerk Maxwell in 1861 gets the bright idea to split up exposures and with colored filters, project them back together to have a color image. So we have his tartan ribbon in 1861, where the ribbon was photographed through the three different filters and then projected with the respective filter and combined as one image to have a full color image. So it proves Young's theory correct, that our eyes have perception for only three colors. We have the Russian photographer Sergei Prokudin-Gorsky working in Russia, who takes the same kind of process where he takes three images through the three different colored filters using the camera where the film slides up for each filter, and then projected with a three-lens projector, each with its respective colored filter, that then combine the image as a full-colored image. They were only recently discovered to be made around 1907 through 1915 of the Russian Empire during the Iron Curtain. We have our second generation color, where we're trying to move away from projection, the additive color theory, and trying to get an actual object that is a color image. We have the Lumiere brothers, who develop autochrome Lumiere, which are a bunch of little potato starches that are colored with the red, green, and blue speckles. It's exactly the same as our digital cameras today. So it's the additive color theory is what we still use today in color photography. The potato starches then, when combined, would make a full color image. Here we have Edward Steichen again with one of his Vogue magazine images for fashion. These are some examples of autochrome, not necessarily Steichen. We have RGB, third generation, Kodachrome, development by Kodak, where the separate color layers were developed to be little layers on a strip of film. So then, basically, the color filters are compacted onto light-sensitive film, like what we have shot in the recent past, or what you can buy from the store now. So that's as far as the color has evolved. The photographer Ernst Haas was one of the first photographers to look at color as a way of art, of communication in photography. Early stages of the progress of color, a lot of artists rejected because they felt like color was unnecessary to photography, that color was actually distracting to the image. So many artists had been gotten used to the monochrome image, this sort of sense of light and dark, black and white, that when they started to see color, they're really confused by it, so they rejected it. Ernst Haas, on the other hand, figured out now color with photography is just like a paintbrush, that light now is a type of a liquid and can be just as expressive and symbolic as any black and white image or any full color painting.